Good morning to a brand new day. Time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.
Hello, little learners. Welcome back to our learning space. My name is Miss Laura. Can you tell me your name? I'm so happy that you made it back on this Monday. Let's start our session off today with a song. Are you ready? Okay, I have my friend Chompers here. He's going to be helping us all week. Here we go. Good morning, it's a sunshine kind of day. Come join Miss Laura for some learning and some play. Will we sing a song? Of course we will. Make our brains strong, like super strong. So come along. Yes, come on, friends, for some learning and some play. I'm so glad you're here. Chompers, how are you feeling today? I'm so happy you're feeling well. I'm going to put you down and we're going to go through our visual schedule and see what we have planned for this week. So we're going to do our emotional check-in, and today I have a really fun way to check in on your feelings, and it involves big feet. And then we're going to do our weekly investigation. Our focus text this week is Jack and the Beanstalk. Have you heard that story before? It's about a little boy who plants a seed and grows a giant beanstalk, and he meets a giant. I won't give too much away. We'll read about it later. And then we'll end with an activity and a goodbye song. Does that sound like a good plan? Okay, so for today's feeling activity, I made these giant feet, and you can make them too. So I just took some cardboard and I drew some feet on them and then tied some ribbon so I can put them on. Now in our story, the giant says, fee, fi, fo, fum. And so I have a riddle for you that's going to help you guess how the giant's feeling or how might you be feeling. Okay, it goes like this. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I have strong feelings and here is one. This morning I didn't want to get out of bed. I'm yawning and just want to rest my head. How do you think I'm feeling? That's right. Tired, exhausted, absolutely pooped. Don't laugh at that one, okay? All right. Now I'm going to give you a letter clue, and that's going to tell you what our story is going to be about. Are you ready? First, I'm going to do a big line down, then a little curve, then another little curve, and that's going to make the letter B. That's right. B for beanstalk. Okay, let's get ready to watch our focus text for the week, Jack and the Beanstalk. Let's watch together. It's story time. Jack and the Beanstalk, a classic tale retold by Miss Laura. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Jack who lived with his mother. They were very poor and didn't have money to buy food. One day, Jack's mother said, "Our old cow Bess isn't giving us any more milk. I need you to take her to the market and sell her." As Jack was taking old Bess to the market, he came across a strange man. The man said, "Ooh, what a nice cow you have. I'll trade you these magic beans for your cow." Magic beans, thought Jack. How could he pass that up? And so Jack took the beans and the man took old Bess. But when Jack got home and showed his mother the beans, she became very upset and threw them out the window. The next morning, Jack woke up and saw a giant beanstalk had grown in his backyard. He decided to climb it. When he finally reached the top of the beanstalk, he saw a huge castle. He decided to go inside. Inside the castle, he saw some golden coins. He thought, if I take these, it will solve all my problems. As he was leaving with the coins, he heard a loud voice singing,
Fee-fi-fo-fum.
I smell the blood of an Englishman. And he decided to run. Jack ran down the beanstalk and showed his mother the coins. She was very happy. They had a large feast that night. Soon the money ran out, and Jack found himself once again inside the castle. This time he saw a hen that laid golden eggs. Jack took the hen and started running to the beanstalk. But again he heard a voice saying,
Fee-fi-fo-fum.
I smell the blood of an Englishman. Jack climbed down the beanstalk and showed his mother the hen who laid golden eggs. She was very happy that their money problems were solved. One day, Jack's curiosity got the best of him, and he found himself back inside the castle. This time, he saw a golden harp that played the most beautiful music, and as he was taking it, he heard the same voice saying,
Fee-fi-fo-fum.
I smell the blood of an Englishman. But as he ran, he heard thumps following him. As Jack climbed down the beanstalk, he could hear the giant footsteps still following him. He looked back and saw that the giant who lived in the castle had followed him down the beanstalk. But the giant was too heavy for the beanstalk, and soon it broke, and down came the giant. The giant was never heard from again, and Jack and his mother lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you liked the story of Jack and the Beanstalk. Remember, you can check out more stories on the Sora app. So right now, I want to call your attention to this poster. Remember in our story, Jack got some beans, and then those beans grew into a giant beanstalk. I wonder how they grew that way. Do you remember the life cycle of a plant? Let's review it really quickly. First, plants are a seed, then they turn into a seedling, a sprout, and then they're a plant with some flowers. Then they turn back into a seed, and the cycle goes on and on. So to help you remember the life cycle of plant and to connect it to our text, we have an activity we're going to do together today. For this activity called Planting Magic Beans, we're going to need a cup, soil, bean, stick, and paper and crayons. This is what the finished product is going to look like. See, it looks like a beanstalk climbing up to reach the castle. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our cup. Now it really helps if you use a clear cup because then you can start to see the seed blooming and going up to the castle. Okay, and we're going to put our gardening gloves on because we're going to fill that cup with soil. Now you may be asking yourself, will any old dirt work? And the truth is, yes, but the brown, dark, rich dirt is the best. And that's what I have for you right here. Do you see? So I'm going to grab some of this dirt and put it in the cup. Now, what else do plants need to grow? Yes, they need sun, they need water, and they need air. So as you're thinking about where to put your plant, remember all the things that they need. So I'm going to take my gloves off because I filled my cup full of soil. Then I'm going to grab one of my beans. Now these are extra large beans. I got them from a soup mix that I had spare. And I'm going to dig a little hole with my finger and put my seed directly in there all the way down and cover it like a blanket with some soil. Look at that. I'm going to add some water later and make sure it gets plenty of sunshine so it can start to grow. Now, in order for it to grow up high, we're going to need to put a stick or something so it can stay upright. That means stay tall. So I'm going to use this stick, and as I put it in, let's see, that's plenty high. Now that looks great, but I really want to connect it to the story. So for that, we're going to make a castle to put on top, just like our example right here. So to make the castle, you're going to take a piece of paper and you're going to cut out a castle shape. Now you can do this any way you like. Your castle does not have to look like mine. But how I made the example castle is I made a rectangle like this by cutting it out, and then I cut like little strip out from one side. You see that? And then I cut another little strip from the other side like this. And cut it again like that. So it kind of makes a castle shape. Now, if you really want it to be a castle, you're going to repeat that all along the edges here of the top. Now, in the old days, they used to have castles that were very big and had stone walls and moats, which is like some water that they would sometimes put alligators or crocodiles in to keep people out. Now, I've been to a castle here in California. It's called Hearst Castle. It's very fancy. Okay, so this is kind of what my castle ends up looking like, just like this. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to take a marker, a crayon, anything you have, and you're going to start to make, you can color it in, and I'm going to start to make a brick pattern. Now, how you make the brick pattern on your castle is you draw some lines. So this is a really fun part because you just draw lines all the way across. Now, does it have to be perfect? Goodness, no. It can be any way you want. It's your castle. It can be a pink castle, a green castle, any kind of castle you want. And then you're going to draw some lines down, just like that. And you're not going to put them in the same spot. They're going to be all in different spots so it looks like a brick. There. Starting to look like a castle, right? Next, we're going to draw our door. In our book, there was a giant door that Jack snuck into, wasn't there? I wonder if he should have snuck into the castle. That's a good question. Should he have taken those things? They don't belong to him. I wonder if you can talk about that with your family. So you noticed I put a little bit of glue on top, and then I put it there, and I'm going to wait for it to grow. Again, it's going to be a couple of weeks, and then you'll get beautiful beanstalk just like this one. I hope that you try it out, and if you do, send me a picture or a note letting me know to the address here below. All right, my friends, looks like it's time to go. Make sure you join me tomorrow. Make your giant feet so that we can do our feelings song together with some cardboard. And tomorrow we're going to work on making an alphabet beanstalk. So I hope to see you then. All right, Miss Laura sends you a big hug, a big smooch. We'll see you tomorrow, my friends. Goodbye.
To a brand new day, time to learn and games to play. Learning things is so much fun. Learning is good for everyone.